for action. Race 1 from Manfield, the CRC 200 for the BNT V8s. Willie Bamber starting from pit lane. And a fairly sizable shunt in the qualifying session. As we go on to the VP Ultimate Grid, Kane Scott and Tim Edgell from the front row. John McIntyre and Craig Beard make up row number 2.
Then go back to the first GM person, that's Paul Manuel there, next door to Martin Short. This is a cessation for the rookies in qualifying. Eddie Bow, and then another Commodore of Andy Booth.
Then we go back to Andy Knight and Wade Henshaw, 9th and 10th on the grid, 11th and 12th, Angus Fogg. There's one of the big stories, the championship leader alongside Matt Lockwood.
Then go to Hayden McKenzie, followed by next door a hard charger Simon Richards, Scott McLaughlin, next door to Nick Ross.
Yeah, McLaughlin a little bit disappointed, didn't get a good lap in qualifying. Willie Bamber will start from pit lane, but he was scheduled to start alongside Andrew Anderson. We go back to Christina Orr, David Hopper and John Penny. So we're ready to go racing. There's your pole sitter, race 1 for the BNT V8s, the CRC 200 from mighty Manfield. On board with Kane Scott, Mark Pedersen joining me in the commentary. Mark, that is one of the best top 10 shootout laps I think I've ever seen to put this Fujitsu forward on the grid.
Yeah, I thought Angus Fogg's efforts a couple of years ago at Timaru was spectacular, but Kane's just rewritten the rule books. To do that time of 12.3 was just mind-boggling. And what's more, even reckons to get a bit more time in the car, so that's more concerning for the other guys behind him.
On board here with John McIntyre, starting out of position number 3, the two-time former series champ. Currently 3rd in the points behind Angus Fogg and Craig Beard. 105 points cover the top 3. Angus Fogg, though, probably the big story. Mistimed his run in qualifying with the red flag for William Bamber's off. And didn't get a fast lap in, and he starts out of position 11, so he's sort of in damage limitation really going into this first race.
He is, and if he can survive turn 1, 2 and 3, then he's got a good shot at making some places up. But of course, Manfield here, you can go in 3 abreast into turn 1. When you get to the middle of the corner, stand a single file, and guys have different interpretation of that. So if there's going to be wrecks or anything, look for row 4, 5, 6 backwards.
Great qualifying effort from Martin Short. Made the top 10 shootout on board with Scott McLaughlin. He's got some work to do back in 16th off the grid. We've got William Bamber starting out of pit lane. We are ready to go racing at Manfield for the BNT V8s. Rolling start, Kane Scott off the pole, Tim Edgell from 2, John McIntyre from 3, Craig Beard from 4. Which side of the track would you want to be on rolling down into into turn number 1?
Outside.
Outside,
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. Because then you've got a bit more room. Inside, nowhere to go once you get into that Constantina effect or the funneling effect of turn 1.
Lights are out, we're going racing at mighty Manfield. 4 wide off the start. Andy Knight's gone down the inside. This could get ugly down into 1. Kane Scott's got the early jump as Knight gets back into line, but they're 3 wide, 2 deep going through turn number 1.
Yeah, look at that Craig Beard on the outside of Tim Edgell. I think Timmy's going to live there. He'll just slot right in.
Oh, Martin Short.
It's a tragedy. Such a strong qualifying position. It's a lot of damage to the front of that car.
He's had a top 5 race car all weekend, and it's just come to nothing.
Oh,
William,
Angus Fogg. We
Fogg.
spoke about it. There you go. That's turn 3, the sequence of splash. That's the championship leader there. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Well, could that be the defining moment in this championship?
Yes.
Opening lap incident. There's another one off in the background. It's one of the Penny cars. I think that's John Penny in the Penny Homes Ford. Kane Scott leads. McIntyre's got shuffled back to 4th off the start. Paul Manuel. He's right there with Johnny Mack.
Yeah, more importantly for that Holden battle, Andy Booth, or Booth usually we call him, is right behind Paul Manuel, so he got a nice aggressive start there. But Angus Fogg, you can't see that car going. Bit of puff of smoke there from one of the Holdens. Probably nothing of that at all. Here we go.
Here's the peak antifreeze replay. Shorts, Knight, and
that is a big hit, Jamie. Right in the rear corner, right to the tyres.
It was just an innocent party, and it's made contact with the tyre wall.
Yeah, I made comment he had to survive turn 1, and it's exactly what I was referring to right there.
Just got collected by Martin Short, who was already sideways. It looked like he'd got a touch from behind.
Here it is.
To be on board with Short. There's the clash with Foggy.
Yeah, Andy Knight just slipping through there, so all the boys trying to adjust for position. It didn't work out the way they'd planned.
Well, that's championship changing stuff. Advantage now to Craig Beard and certainly John McIntyre. How will it transpire at the end of this race? We've still got 10 laps to find out. Andy Knight with a big start down the inside. Could you believe that? 4 wide off the start down into turn number 1 on the front straight?
100% can believe it. Been there, been part of it. Didn't particularly enjoy it myself when it was happening to and around me, so I'm glad I'm on this side of the fence now. But that's the battle there now for the championship, is essentially going to be between Craig Beard and Johnny McIntyre, for the simple reason being is that Angus Fogg's got to start from the back of the next race.
Yeah, so really up against it. He knew he wasn't happy after qualifying knowing he would have to start in the middle of the grid. And that's, as you've alluded to, Mark, where a lot of the action tends to happen. He was just wrong place, absolutely wrong time. So Kane Scott, he's been pretty dominant all weekend. We've got double waved yellows down there at turn number 1. So no passing down there, obviously.
No, but where all of these guys, in particular the leaders, have got to be very careful. Kane Scott and Timmy in particular, there's waved double yellow flags, and what that means that there is extreme danger down there for one reason or another. Let's go back to the Angus Fogg reason. These guys, Jamie, are lapping at 1 minute 12.9. It means they're not slowing down for that flag. The officials will be honing in on that. These guys have to be careful. They've got to make some attempt to slow down for that corner. I'm not seeing it.
Well, they're right on lap record pace of 1:12.810, held by Angus Fogg, set here in 2008. Now, Foggy, has he extracted himself? No, he's gone off again. That is out of the final corner, Dunlop, and he's going to go into the pit lane.
There's no other option. You see all the debris and everything. That's going to become a factor as well, because these guys are going to be going through all the debris left behind right now.
So Foggy's obviously gone off trying to get back to the pits.
Yeah, unless he had a flat tyre and decided to drive all the way around in the grass, which they do just to help get the cars back. Here's old Boothie's certainly got his race face on. Andy Knight just in front of him. Wade Henshaw on the background doing a sterling job there.
Well, as you heard from Henshaw, they replaced a dud shock overnight from qualifying. It was certainly a spectacular qualifying lap. There's Boothie down the inside of Andy Knight for the 6th position. Is he running in a little bit too deep? Knight's going to try and cross him over off the exit. Should have the line, all leaning on each other. They're still side by side. No, Boothie gets it. Here comes Wade Henshaw.
You just knew from going back from the old days that if Henshaw had a glimpse of ray or sunlight, he was going to take it, and that's exactly what we saw. He's lost another spot. I think that's
Matt Lockwood.
Matt Lockwood down the inside.
Making his first start for the new championship in one of John Penny's Holdens. That's a very quick car, and Matt's actually been pretty solid right throughout the weekend. So there's the LG team going to work on the left front corner of Fogg's machine, as Lockwood's going down the inside of Andy Knight's. Knight carrying some damage to the left side of the Century Batteries Ford. He was involved in that skirmish with Martin Short and Angus Fogg as well. It'll be interesting to see if Martin Short got some assistance from behind that unsettled the car, got it sideways and just turned it right into the path of Angus Fogg.
Yeah, there's a bit of an investigation going on, and the other car that's been called up in that is 69 of Eddie Bow, and I noticed that Andy Knight's number wasn't called up, so maybe he was just an innocent party. But the guys in the judicial camera, they'll go and have a look and decide who was at fault, if anybody at all, if it was a racing incident. But this battle is not over. These guys are going to be taking it to each other here, Andy Knight and the Lockwood car, till the end. Here you go. Positions reversed. And here comes a drag race.
Matt Lockwood, a former Mazda Pro 7s champion and a former NZV8 champion, of course. But he has shown some pretty good pace this weekend. He's done a very, very solid job.
Stayed out of trouble, which is the main thing.
So can Angus Fogg get back out there and track? He needs to finish within 75% of the race distance. There's Scott McLaughlin working his way through. He's just sort of stalled back there in the driver's spot. He's picked up 4 spots as we go on board the Gold Coast-based Kiwi. He was really disappointed after qualifying. He was on a flyer. It was up a 10th on Kane Scott's qualifying lap before the shootout, and the red flag come out right about now, just as he was coming out of Higgins.
He was another victim. As you're saying, he was right up there on the sheets in terms of the overall lap time. But of course, when the red flag comes out, it comes out. Essentially, the session's been stopped, so he didn't have a chance to complete that. The team was saying if he did, would have been comfortably in the top 10, but he didn't. And as such, he's now battling for 12th place.
Tim Edgell hasn't let Kane Scott get away. He's just controlling things out in front. John McIntyre still in 4th. So Craig Baird looking to take back over the championship lead here. We're still waiting to see if Angus Fogg is going to come out on track and manage a finish. He needs to finish within 75% of the total race distance. Christina Orr getting a little bit out of shape under brakes. John Penny with the pass in the Penny Homes Ford. Christina Orr returning back to the championship here at Manfield this weekend. Well, it's all on. Championship changing stuff. Don't go away. Kane Scott leads from Tim Edgell with Craig Baird in 3rd. We'll be back on the other side of this. So Kane Scott is your race leader with the halfway distance now achieved for the opening race of the BNT V8s from Manfield, the CRC 200 weekend. Mark Pedersen, the really interesting thing is here as we have a look at a Peak Antifreeze replay. Oh, Wade Henshaw and Andy Booth. That was lucky.
Oh, Paul Manuel. That looks like that's turn 7, perhaps. It's the fast corner coming onto the front straight.
Out of 5th place, but he's got it out of the gravel trap. So what's happened there for Paul Manuel in the Oryx Holden on board with John McIntyre? He's just got out of shape.
He has locked the rear brakes. You see the puff of smoke. And then away we go.
Well, Johnny would have seen that coming.
He certainly would have. He would have seen that car come up very quickly, and he was going to hope you're going to stop.
A mistake there from Paul Manuel in the Oryx Commodore. Kane Scott, Timmy Edgell, Craig Baird, John McIntyre. Some debris down there on the track off the exit of the hairpin. So Andy Booth now up into the 5th position and the leading Holden. Wade Henshaw up to 6th. Matt Lockwood 7th. Andy Knight in 8th. Completing the top 10, Andrew Anderson and Simon Richards. Andy Anderson finally getting a good run in the ITM Holden. It's
a nice strong showing actually. So we've got Commodore's 5th and 9th, of course, with Paul Manuel going off to the wilderness there for a little while. But look, let's take nothing away. Wade Henshaw doing a good job. Short getting a bit of attention in the pit lane.
Yeah, the zone forward battle scarred after that opening corner clash that involved Angus Fogg and Andy Knight. Well, what a race of drama. Craig Baird effectively taking over the championship lead now by just 4 points. Andy Knight trying to get back around Matt Lockwood. I think he's done enough to get up the inside of turn 1. Can he make it stick to the S's?
I think these guys are going to come unstuck here myself.
Pretty close quarters racing. Ford versus Holden. Andy Knight was a little bit disappointed with their 9th qualifying effort in the Century Ford. He's certainly working over Matt Lockwood. Battles further back. There's Anderson. McLaughlin now up into the 10th position from grid 16. Can he get around Andy Anderson and get to that 9th position? When I talking to Scott, they were pretty happy with their race balance. They're just, again, disappointed with that qualifying effort, but he's working his way through the field.
Good steady progress, which is always important, because keep in mind, every time he goes to a track in New Zealand, it's the first time he's ever been there. So, look, for him to be in 10th place in itself is a credible effort, but we know this team's capable of more, and unfortunately got caught out in qualifying. Not much you can do about that, but the cars in front using every inch of road plus a bit more. Witness of that is by all the debris getting thrown into the air.
Yeah, someone's dropped the wheel off the exit of Dunlop, the final corner here at mighty Manfield. McLaughlin spent a fair bit of time testing with Kane Scott, and they made some pretty big gains with this race car. So he's looking forward to Taupo because it's the first track that he'll actually go back and he's already done some laps on this season.
He should have a competitive showing if that's the case, because yeah, you're right, during the week they snuck down there on the way down to Manfield and done a few miles, which obviously Kane is getting rewarded for. Johnny McIntyre's car is actually slowing.
Here's the fastest race lap times. Kane Scott with the fastest lap of the race at 1:12.9, and he's got 3 of the top 5 laps. Timmy Edgell, who again, pace-wise, he's in 2nd place. He's obviously not got a bad race car, but really nothing for Kane Scott right now. He just looks to be just about having the arm out the window for a Sunday drive.
Sorry, Jamie, to butt in there. Johnny McIntyre's actually fallen behind Andy Booth and is going to come under the tension very quickly of Wade Henshaw.
He's off. We're on board with John McIntyre. He is off.
Well, and smoke coming down the left front tyre there.
What has happened to John McIntyre? So Booth and Henshaw have already gone by him. Has he punctured a tyre? Maybe the right front or... No, something's broken at the rear of the race car.
Yeah, it almost, to be honest, it actually almost looked like the engine's seized up. It wouldn't be the case at all, but...
Looked to be dragging something down that maybe that is similar to Craig. It's either a drive shaft or maybe that Watts linkage that caught Craig Baird out at Timaru.
You're right, because the previous lap he dropped a 2.5 to the leaders. So here we go. Scott McLaughlin on the inside. Going to be a drag race here between the two Holdens.
Andy Anderson's got an inside run, so first and third.
Like a rocket going down the inside of Scott McLaughlin.
First and third in the championship, having dramas in race 1 here in Manfield. Battles raging
safety
right
car's
through
out,
the field.
sorry.
We got a safety car called. Well, this is going to close things up with just a couple of laps left to go. It's going to be a sprint to the finish. Well, hasn't this championship changed, Mark Pedersen?
Well, it has, but these guys I don't think have been informed that the safety car's out because they're still racing here. There we go. Just look to the left. The flag marshal's doing a good job, waving all the flags they can, so the notification would have come out. But Wow, that's how you turn the championship upside down in the blink of an eye, isn't it?
So John McIntyre parked off the exit.
Sorry, Jamie, you
Higgins.
see right in the centre there, you'll see the scuff marks. I think you hit the nail on the head. Maybe it's broken a drive shaft, and that's what's been digging into the track. 2 bits of dirt in the car.
So there's Kane Scott, your race leader. We might have a one-lap dash to the checkered flag here. The AMG Mercedes safety car is out on track.
Let's look underneath the car. I can't see anything.
This is the peak antifreeze replay of John McIntyre's problem, so something's let go there. Definitely the rear of the car is sitting down. Now let's have a look under the back of the car.
Oh, there you go. Suspension. Yeah, definitely at the back part of the car. So whatever it is, this could be championship turn-in results.
So the red flag is out. Kane Scott looking to take the victory. The race has been declared with John McIntyre stranded off the edge of the racetrack. This championship has just got absolutely turned on its head. Kane Scott with the victory from Tim Edgell and Craig Baird. Craig Baird, the new championship leader with the demise of Angus Fogg, and John McIntyre in this first race. Well, what a race. Kane Scott taking the victory with the red flags out from Tim Edgell and Craig Baird. John McIntyre, because the race goes back to the last recorded lap with the red flag, salvages a 4th place finish with some rear end damage to the number 47 Ford. Andy Booth, the first of the Holdens in 5th, ahead of Wade Henshaw, Andy Knight, Mac Lotwood, Andrew Anderson and Scott McLaughlin in 10th, all the way from grid 16.